I can see you and hear you, Susan.
And we are now live on YouTube.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kathy James, and I am starting our Personnel Commission regular meeting Tuesday, December 15th. We are in regular session, and as authorized by the Governor's Emergency Executive Order, which was issued March 12, 2020. The Ukiah Unified School District Personnel Commission will conduct its meetings via video conference commute until further notice. And this particular meeting will be streamed via the UUSD's live YouTube channel. Okay, we are in open session. Roll call, please.
Personnel Commission Chair Kathy James.
Here.
Personnel Commissioner Susan Scher.
Here.
Personnel Commissioner Martha Giacomini.
Here.
Okay, and what I need to say here at this point is members of the public who wish to address the commission during the meeting are asked to please use the public comment forum prior to starting of the meeting. And it can be accessed on the Personnel Commission website under Ukiah Unified School District. So do we have any of those by any chance?
We do not.
Okay. So at this time, I would like Martha to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and
justice for all.
Thank you for the flag. It's always nice to see our flag. Okay, I'm going to need approval of today's agenda, commissioners, and we do have a little bit of a change, and I guess we have to say it here that we're taking off one of the items for advanced placement out of our closed session.
So the advanced placement number one, the first one is being pulled and will be brought back at a later date.
Yeah. Okay. So when you make your motion, just pull advanced placement number one out of the closed session. So can I have a motion, please?
Sure. I move to approve today's agenda.
With the removal of
advanced placement number one.
Yeah. Okay. And do I have a second, please?
I second that.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda. Everyone in favor, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Number 5 on our agenda is our organization updates, and this is an opportunity for the commission, district administration, or CSEA representatives to make a brief announcement, report on his or her own activities, or ask questions. Is there any of that? Okay. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Okay, we'll move on to number 6, and this is our community input section. Members of the audience are welcome to address the commission regarding items that are not on the agenda, but we don't have any public comment.
I just took a quick look and there's still no comments.
Okay, so we'll move right on into our report. No, I'm sorry. This is number 7 on our agenda. It's approval of today's agenda. Do I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
And do I have a second, please?
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve today's consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed. Reports. This is where our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Nicole Ginsler, are you with us?
She is not with us at the moment.
Okay, then would you like to move on to your report, Marty?
Sure. I forwarded to you the PC office happenings, which is also posted on our district's website under the Personnel Commission. And I thought it was really kind of interesting. I shared out, people had questions about the annual raises versus what the board approved. And I thought it was the perfect opportunity to share with them some additional information about saving for their retirement and different resources that are available. And so I kind of outlined the email that I sent them to you. I also sent you the information about our November fun facts. We had 14 job postings, 24 new applicants. 23 of those were on Indeed, which I still always find interesting that we're getting many more applicants on Indeed than EdJoin. We held 3 interviews as of last week, and we filled, we had 7 exams proctored, and we filled, I believe it was 6 positions. But since the beginning of the year, we've had 46 new hires, including 14 subs and 32 contracted employees. So, that says a lot about the amount of turnover that we're getting through the Personnel Commission. And I'd like to applaud everyone involved in making that happen, from administrators and sites with their putting together interview panels, Lori and all her hard work and pulling all that together, and then of course HR with following up and getting them into position as quickly as possible after all of their checks and balances. Recently we were able to start our fingerprinting, and we're just amazed at how quickly we're getting the results back. The one exception is if there's a delay, which a lot of times when there's a delay, it means that there's something in their report that, requires a little more work than just nothing to report. But most of the time, Lori and I are finding that when we do the fingerprints, within less than half an hour, we already have the results back, which is just tremendous for us. So we're really, really excited about it.
Half an hour, is that half an hour from when they actually give their fingerprints? You have the
Yes.
results?
Yes.
Wow.
And we have
Technology.
this wonderful device where when they bring their driver's license, we scan the back of their driver's license, so it fills all the data for us. So we're not having to take the time. We just have to verify that nothing has changed. Like sometimes their address is different or whatever. We have to make those changes. But for the most part, Lori, it takes 5-10 minutes. And then we submit them, and within half an hour, we have the results of their fingerprinting. So I'm amazed, especially when you hear all the news reports about how the volume of DOJ checks right now between ammunition and guns and all the various reasons that a person would get fingerprinting. I'm just still amazed at how quickly we get those results.
I think one of the big pluses though is we're saving our candidates $30.
Right.
So that's a huge plus. And sometimes it's faster than the half hour, I think even.
Yeah.
Yeah, within the half hour, but 15 minutes. Sometimes it's really going to be super great when we get more and more people in.
Yeah, I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
So what is the time saving then? Before, how long would it take to get your fingerprint results before you were able to do this?
So
Week.
Sorry, I lost you for a moment.
sometimes days it would take, sometimes weeks. And if
Oh,
there's a delay, sometimes months. So if we did have a delay just recently, it was maybe 3 or 4 days it took for the delay to come back. So it's
wow.
quite a
That's
benefit.
huge then.
Mhm.
Well, that's great news. It keeps things efficient. Okay.
I just to make mention on this, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Um, On everything that you reported, Marty, I think it's so important for the employees to see all of these things that are available to just district employees, the bilingual stipend, the professional growth. Um, these are all ways to increase your salary. And sometimes I know it happens. They're just not aware, or they, it's just such a good thing to put out there. So
Well,
good job,
whenever I
Laura.
have the opportunity, I do share out that type of information. And also when we have job postings, especially for our hard to fill positions like custodians and paraprofessionals, I'll include that little bit that says, these are the benefits of working for the school district, and so it lists the step increase, the annual step increases, the paid benefits, the paid holidays, the paid time off, retirement plans, all of that stuff. So just really pushing, it beyond the salary and the fact that we're working in these times, that there are all these additional benefits.
Yeah, I wasn't aware, well, I worked for the district for 24 years, but the professional growth program, I had no idea probably the first 15 years, and then
Yeah.
discovered it and then added to my salary. So yeah, all of these are great pluses for employees.
Absolutely.
Thank
Paul,
you.
I love your hat.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh,
Hey, hi,
hi, Nicole.
love the hat.
Yes.
Nicole, you look like you got dressed up just for our meeting.
I have dressed in Christmas attire every day, every workday since Thanksgiving. So
Oh,
I'm tired of wearing casual clothes just because I'm doing Zoom. So we've dressed it up in December.
oh,
Yep.
how fun, how fun. Okay, well, would you like to give a report to us?
Yes, and I'm so sorry that I was late. Yeah, it's that time of year where time passes at an extraordinarily quick rate between Thanksgiving and Christmas is always just super, super quick. The district has been continuing to do the work for reopening for in-person instruction. So we've got a couple of groups that are still meeting that include admin, certificated, and classified, going over schedules and some other details of reopening, like safety protocols and things like that. The schedules have been one of the biggest challenges, to be really honest. Our county has had, I'm not sure if this is going to change, but our county has had a stricter reopening requirements for schools. So that's presented a challenge that kind of puts us in the position at the secondary level of, under the current guidelines, students would only be able to attend one period twice a week and then be remote the rest of the time. So that's, it's just very difficult to come up with a plan that is, that adheres to all the requirements that our county has. So hopefully that will change and will kind of be more in line with what other counties are doing, and that will help with our schedule. As you may know, we had anticipated or planned to open after Thanksgiving for our elementary students and our high needs special students in special education, but that was delayed because of COVID numbers. We have not made any official delay of our other reopening dates, which were both in January for middle school and then for high school. It doesn't look right now, it does not look like we'll be able to reopen, but those dates have not officially been changed. So we're still working to get our reopening schedules and plans established, but we don't have, it's unclear when that will actually happen. I have to share with you, I know everybody is appreciative of the work that educators are doing. Some are very frustrated because they'd rather see their kids in school, but I think in previous conversation, I've heard from you guys an appreciation for the work that schools are doing. And I want to share with you one of the frustrations of working under the COVID circumstances that we have right now is that we have made plans and plans and plans that we've had to change or disregard altogether and come up with new plans, or the rules change. It's to say it's frustrating does not appropriately describe it. It's really difficult. So when you see some of our teacher leaders and our administrators, and if they look tired, they are, because they've been planning and working only to see their plans come to nothing and then have to start over with a new idea. So I think all of us in our professional lives are used to that to a certain degree, but I have never seen it anything like this before. So it's just really frustrating. And I think all of our staff is really ready for a break. So Christmas, our winter holiday is right in time. So that's kind of my report. I'm happy to take any questions.
I was just curious if you saw, I know you live, oh no, you live in Mendocino County. If you saw the letter to the editor the other day in the Journal.
No.
Oh, it was from a disgruntled parent making all sorts of accusations of teachers and administrators. And I was just hoping somebody would respond. It was crying out for a rational response.
I've certainly taken lots of phone calls. So I'll see if I can look it up and see if it's a parent I've spoken with.
I think it was Sunday's paper, maybe Saturday or Sunday. And, you know, I figured it's really easy, like most situations, to stand on the sidelines and throw out criticisms when you're not inside and really know the ins and outs of what's going on. So I wish that particular parent could hear what you're saying now. It might change an attitude.
You know, it's I definitely understand the frustration of our parents. Many of our employees are also parents. We hear it from our employees. Our chief business officer, our superintendent, me, the other assistant superintendent, we're all parents as well of children that are in school or in distance learning right now. And so we definitely see the impact on our own children. I mean, we're seeing this from lots of different angles. And so, but I do not begrudge a single parent any frustration that they feel on this. And I wish that they knew that we have, that we're working really hard, that we're really trying to make this happen. But I kind of understand them being frustrated and not being able to see through their frustration and appreciate the amount of work that's going into this, because they're going through some really difficult times themselves with work, having to balance kids at home. It is a lot. And I think our parents are struggling, and they are to be applauded for everything that they're doing. And I appreciate the work our staff is doing to make it this as meaningful as possible, but it does not matter how much work and how great a program we have for distance learning. It is not as good as having kids in school. And I think that is something that everybody recognizes. And we need to get to where we can have kids in school as soon as we possibly can.
Other questions? I have a question, Nicole. Is anything extra being done to address the number of failing grades that students are getting? Any interventions?
I won't speak too directly to that because I'm not that close with that work, but I will tell you that there's, yes, that it is being looked at the school sites, at the middle schools and at the high school. Actually, in our board report, the data was included. So I can't speak too much to that, but I'm not as close to that work as our other assistant superintendent in ed services.
Okay. Is that data, you said there was data is the backup online to what the board gets? Is that on?
It usually is. If it's not there right when you, like before the meeting, it's usually uploaded right after.
And then it's on there for a while? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So was this at their last meeting that it was?
We had a meeting last night and it was presented last night to the board meeting. And what they did was they looked at a comparison of the failing rate. I think it was for this year compared to the schools last year, to see what's, where there had been some increases.
Okay. Okay, good.
And that's I want to say that's a statewide problem. I know it's a statewide problem. I don't know if it goes beyond California, but it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Kids not,
I've heard
yeah.
nationwide.
yeah,
actually.
it is problematic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. I will check that out. Any other questions for Nicole? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your
Nicole.
Christmas spirit. Okay, so we'll move on to our action items. And our first item is 9.1. It's election of our Personnel Commission chair.
I nominate Kathy James.
I second that.
Oh, did you guys plan this?
Oh, I just wanted to cut to the chase.
Yeah. So neither one of you want to, I'm fine doing it, but I don't want to hog it either.
No, you're not
Well,
hogging.
No, we
Okay.
very much
Well-
appreciate you being chair.
Well, thank you for your confidence. Appreciate it. All right, so I need a motion and a second and a vote.
I think we did. Susan, share.
Oh, she did. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, I am going to remain the chair for this coming year. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. 9.2 is the appointment of our Personnel Commission secretary, and that would be Marty. So I need a motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion to have Marty be the Personnel Commission secretary. Appointment of the secretary for the
I second.
Personnel.
And
Okay, we have a-
adoption of the resolution.
Oh, excuse me, and the adoption of the resolution.
Thank you.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. At this time, all in favor of Marty becoming our Personnel Commission secretary and approving the resolution,
Aye.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Marty. 9.3 is the approval of our meeting calendar for 2021, and that's in our backup. I just want to point out, it shows that we're not going to have a meeting in August.
Right.
That's what we did this year, correct?
Yes.
Moved it from July to August, okay. And are you still okay with that, Mark?
Oh, I followed. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lisa Rantala is blowing up my phone with messages. My phone, anyways, it sucks up my internet. So I followed the calendar in the past, and the reason that it says no August meeting is that it's in the PC rules that we won't have an August meeting. However, the last year or two, we have changed that to having no meeting in July and having a meeting in August instead. So we can make whatever changes you want to make to the calendar at this time, or we can wait and do it after. But I also put on here proposed changing to the meetings, which is item 9.8. Obviously, we can't make those changes because it takes a second reading. So it would take the next meeting before we could make those changes to that language. And then you could revise the calendar if you wanted to at that time.
Well, this year, didn't we just say we were set for July, but we moved it to August because you guys needed a break.
Right, we took July because Lori and I desperately needed a break.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
it's nice when school comes back in August, it's one less thing to have to put on your agenda. I think that was, we did that quite a few years ago, and we changed it where there was no meeting in August for that reason, for just would be easier for you at the district.
Well, if we can, yeah, I think that we should be able to change that when we need to, when it starts to come up. So if that means changing our rules, we can do that. I mean, we can do that and just approve this how it reads now, and then change the rules to mean something for the future. I don't know how you all feel about that.
Yeah, that sounds fine. We have plenty of time to change it
I
in the next
agree.
6 months if we need to.
True.
Right. And do the other dates look okay to everybody?
As far as I could tell now. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yes.
Me too. Okay, well then, I'll take a motion and a second to approve this particular calendar.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2021 Personnel Commission meeting calendar.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the 2021 meeting calendar for the Personnel Commission. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. 9.4, approval of our 2021 goals and objectives.
Before we go to our next item, may I just share with you that Lisa asked me to apologize that she can't be here tonight, but wanted to wish you all happy holidays.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have and please wish her, or if she listens to this later on, we wish you a happy and healthy Christmas time in 2021. All right, Marty, do you want to go over this?
Well, I printed out what our current, what is on our personnel commission page and our purpose and our goals. And I thought it was a great opportunity to review both and update them if anybody had any changes or any concerns.
It looks good to me. Seems like it wasn't so long ago we did this
Yes.
with the pamphlet, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes. We've always
Yeah.
gone over each item listed.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe the commission has been 53 years of service for the classified employees. That's wonderful.
A long time, huh? Okay, well then I will take a motion in a second to approve the 2021 goals and objectives.
I move to approve the goals for the year 2020 and goals and objectives for 2020.
2021.
Oh, we're looking at 2020. I'm sorry. Okay.
Right, we're looking
yeah.
at 2020,
Right.
So
2021.
we're adopting them
Yeah.
for 2021. Okay.
Right.
So I move to approve the same goals for 2020 as applied, goals and objectives for 2020 as applied to 2021.
Great.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the 2021 goals and objectives, which are the same as our 2020 goals and objectives. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. 9.5 is proposed revisions to our PC Rule 408.6-1, and that is posting of announcements of vacancies.
So this is the second reading, and basically I put down the recommendation that we would remove what we currently have and substitute the written notice concerning tests, vacancies, transfer opportunities, and other selections of shifts, positions, assignments, classifications, or locations shall be posted at all work locations of employees who may be affected not later than 15 working days prior to the closing date of filling appropriate applications. filing, I'm sorry. Such notices may be published and distributed by electronic means. I did send an email to council regarding, do we have to wait the 15 days if it's a position that we're constantly recruiting for? And she said, in essence, yes, unless it's the exact same number of hours at the exact same position in the exact same class, you really need to wait the 15 days that Ed Code requires.
Right.
We have been practicing this in that when HR sends a job posting out and we post it on Indeed or EdJoin, regardless, as soon as Lois sends that posting out, then we do not schedule an interview any closer than 15 days from that date, just to make sure that applicants have had ample opportunity to submit their applications. We've even gone as far as, a week later, following it up with an email, hey, we just want to make sure you've seen this, just to try to make sure that we're making sure everyone has that opportunity called for in Ed Code.
Okay,
I just have one thing that I just felt kind of stumped by. Maybe the language seemed to be possibly more confusing than necessary. Looking at the end of the third line in blue, after affected, not later than 15 working days. Is that the same as saying at least 15 days? The not later kind of threw me off. I had to think about that for a while. But isn't it the same thing as saying you have to wait at least 15 working days?
It does. My only apprehension is that this comes directly from Ed Code, and that if we put at least 15 days, then someone submits an application 20 days and they're saying, well, it said, I don't know that that would change anything, but
I should contact our state legislature that their language is unnecessarily confusing.
It is. And I agree with you 100%.
Okay, yeah, I understand the Ed Code conundrum. I just, I had to take probably about 2 minutes to make sure I understood that.
Right. Well, I read it and reread it and read it again, and then asked Nicole to read it because I was like, is this truly saying what I think it's saying? Because
yeah, it's really
makes no sense to me. Why would we have to wait 15 days? Working days, 15 working days. So that's 3 weeks.
that's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
The district is not super happy with this language,
Yeah.
but it does come from Ed Code. So
Right. Yeah, it is Ed Code. And I know
Ed Code
that's,
rules.
yeah. And when we're hiring, we'd like to have it a little bit speedier, but there it is, 15 working days.
All right, so contact your state representative if you don't like it.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
I started to say during Nicole's report about, I wish more people understood the bureaucracy involved and how as diligent as employees and staff are in trying to come up with a solution to get kids back in school. It's things like this that I feel like impede our efforts, and all the changes and modifications that the district has been going through with trying to meet all those new regiments and requirements. It's so frustrating because we're as frustrated, even more so because you just feel like you're banging your head against the wall. You come up with a solution or a way to meet those requirements, only to say, oh gosh, no, that was yesterday. Today we're going to do this. And so I just wish more people understood the level that the district deals with in those arenas.
Yeah, the hiring process is so different than, out in the other arena of jobs. When your school is a whole different atmosphere for hiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, should we take a vote then? Are we good to go move forward with this one? It is our second reading.
Okay. Would you like to, I should make a motion for adoption?
Uh-huh,
please.
please.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the recommended revisions to PC Rules 408.6-1.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second approving the proposed revisions to PC Rule 408.6-1. Posting of announcements of vacancies. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now we're moving on to PC Rule 408.8, which is conduct of examinations. And this is, I believe, our second reading.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I love how short it is.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very straightforward.
So if you think it's okay, I'll take a motion and a second.
Okay, Martha, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm fine with with this also. I'm good.
Okay,
Yes.
so I move to adopt the recommended language for revision of PC Rule 408.8, conduct of examinations.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the recommended revisions to PC Rule 408.8 as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I think 9.7, proposed revisions to PC Rule 408.11, the retention and availability of examination records, review and protest. I believe we've already, this is our second reading too.
That's correct. The only point of fact is that there were two ed codes referenced that are not relevant to this PC rule. And so we would like to remove the reference to Education Code 45260 and 45261, but keep the language that is currently in that PC rule.
Do you have, maybe it's just on my computer version. I don't have the
I
new
did not
language. You
I
didn't include
not
it?
include the entire language because again, the language in the PC rule is not changing. Just at the beginning, it
Oh, I
says
see. Okay, sure.
RF education code and it lists 3, but 2 of them, it doesn't apply.
I
So we
see.
need to remove that reference.
Okay,
Because it
that's
was very
fine.
confusing for someone to look up those ed codes and think, what the heck? This-
Oh, sure. I understand.
Okay. Any other
So that's the
comments?
only change. Okay.
Okay,
I think we're good.
all right, so I'll take a motion and a second on this one as well.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommended revisions for PC Rule 408.11 with the remove reference to EC 45260 and 45261, retention and availability of examination records, review, and protests.
I second.
That was a really good motion, Martha. That was a mouthful. Okay, I have a motion and a second, and I'm not going to repeat it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion passes. 9.8 is, I believe, our first reading.
Yes.
And it is the proposed revision to our PC Rule 403.10, our meetings.
So can we move that back since we're not ready to decide?
Can we do what, hon?
Well, I thought we decided when we looked at the calendar, we were going to revisit that.
Well, we have
Yeah,
to
this
revisit,
is the rule.
right.
We can change the date later, the August or July
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, it's the rule we have
Okay.
to deal with.
Right. Okay.
And this is the first reading.
So what if we add something in this that says, instead of just simply saying except in August, that we leave a door, some language in there to leave that open, and something like unless otherwise voted on by the commission, something like that. What do you think? So we're not stuck with the August, but the door is
Yeah.
open. We have to change it. How would you word that, Susan?
The regular meetings of the commission shall be held monthly except in August, unless,
Voted on otherwise?
yeah, unless altered by the commission. Period, unless altered or changed by the commission. Might need more teeth than that.
Well, generally speaking, the most employees that are 10 or 11 month have July off.
Mhm.
And even though we have summer school, it tends to be a quieter month and is an opportunity for 12-month employees to take a little bit of time off, aside from possibly during, winter break, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or spring break. But so you could either just leave it without excluding any month and then just vote on it annually when you adopt your calendar. But because it's written in here this way, the calendar has to keep the month of August open.
So what you're suggesting is we say the regular meetings of the commission shall be held monthly,
Right.
period.
Oh, and then we just decide to take July off.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, that's a good
that makes
idea.
a lot
Like
of
that.
sense.
that makes it pretty short.
Yeah.
Because it may
Okay.
change later down the road that another month is better because things, COVID has evolved, or for whatever reason, we're changing
Right.
it to, okay, now we're going to make December the month that we take a
Mhm.
break.
Right.
Well, are we then in violation of the rule if we're not holding meetings monthly then?
Not at all.
If we're deciding to take 1 month off, it won't be monthly.
Commission
How
shall be
about, okay, we could say held monthly, except
Except at the discretion of the
of
commission.
yeah, that's it, right there.
Okay,
okay.
That totally leaves the door open. Okay, so we'll bring that back next month. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This point, before we go into closed session, are there any public comments regarding closed session?
There are no comments.
Okay, so at this point, I